Good evening, everybody. Uneducated Economist here. So I am going to give you the quickest rundown on what's going on in China that you probably heard. So if you haven't heard yet, China got hit with 25% tariff on $250 billion worth of goods. This is not a surprise to me. Knowing that the Federal Reserve was not willing to lower interest rates and go back into quantitative easing and start to weaken our currency, the Trump administration would have to do something in order to stave off the deflation that's going to be coming from China if we allow those goods to keep coming into the country, getting cheaper and cheaper. See, China has gone into a major weakening of their currency right now. At the exact same time, the United States has gone into a major strengthening, okay? We're doing quantitative tightening. They're doing quantitative easing, and it's causing those imports coming into our country to get cheaper and cheaper. And this is a major problem for our retailers, okay? So our retailers are, actually the whole country is pretty much consumer based. So we need people to buy goods, and we need those goods to kind of go up in price at a very slow incremental amount that we don't notice very much in order for continued growth, right? This is the growth that comes from it. And if you allow items to come into the country, get cheaper and cheaper, then what ends up happening is that the margins that these stores put on it, or just the businesses in general put on these items, the revenue that they get from these items gets less and less, and they are no longer able to achieve the revenue or their overhead from this revenue. Okay, let me explain. So if an item comes into the United States that costs $1, okay, and that dollar has a 10% margin on it, the store, the outlet, gets 11% or 11 cents of revenue from that. Now, if that item comes into the United States and it only costs 80 cents, the markup, that 10% margin, because remember, they have to stay competitive, right? So they got to stay at that same margin in order to stay competitive with the other people that are out there, especially the online sales. When they get that 80-cent item and they put a 10% margin on it, they only get 9 cents. So you see, they have to sell so much more items in order to make the same revenue that they were getting before. And if they don't get that same revenue, they can't make their overhead. They can't pay their employees. They can't, service their debt. So it's a major issue to have deflation imported into our country. And by hitting them with those 25% tariffs, you can stop that inflation from running into the country. They kind of put like a dam in front of it. You can either do the 25% tariffs, or you can try and weaken your currency. And since the Federal Reserve wasn't willing to play, Trump had to hit him with the 25% tariff. So there you go. China deal. No good. Talk to you later, uneducated economists. You let me know.